Top tips on how to breed champion racing pigeons. Introduction. Breeding champion racing pigeons is both an art and a science that takes years of dedication, careful planning, and attention to detail. Top breeders constantly strive to produce pigeons with the ideal combination of traits needed to excel in races, including speed, endurance, intelligence, navigational ability, and competitiveness. By understanding pedigree, practicing selective breeding, providing proper nutrition and housing, motivating pigeons through training and racing, and paying close attention to health, you can set your loft up for success. Here are the top tips from master breeders on how to develop elite racing pigeon bloodlines capable of competing at the highest levels. Focus on pedigree. One of the most critical aspects of breeding racing pigeons is pedigree. You must carefully select parent stock with proven racing success for several generations back in their family trees. The very best breeders constantly analyze pedigrees to identify golden crosses between lines that produce winning birds. They strategically plan matings between birds that complement each other's strengths and compensate for weaknesses. For example, crossing a fast pigeon with flawless navigation ability but average endurance with a distance specialist known for its relentless motivation and stamina can potentially produce the complete racing package. You should focus on acquiring birds directly from championship lofts that specialize in the race distance you target. Practice selective breeding. Once you have acquired high-quality parent stock, you must be utterly ruthless in deciding which birds to keep for future breeding. Be prepared to eliminate 70 to 80% of each generation, keeping only the absolute top performers and most physically gifted birds. Consider both race results and the evaluation of the pigeon's conformation, including muscle quality, wing structure, chest capacity, and more. Breed the very best cocks to the very best hens, without exception. Avoid any sentimentality and don't make excuses for keeping birds out of fondness. Underperforming pigeons will only drag down the quality of your bloodline. You cannot compromise if your goal is to develop consistent champions. Identify the physical and mental qualities of an ideal bird for your chosen race distance and breed selectively towards that model. Provide proper loft environment. Champion racing pigeons need proper housing to thrive. Your loft should provide insulation from the cold, relief from the heat, protection from drafts and precipitation, plenty of ventilation, and ample room for exercise. Keep the loft scrupulously clean using sanitizers and disinfectants to minimize disease. Make sure individual nest boxes are comfortable and secure, as stress-free breeding is essential. Supply diverse grit types to aid digestion, provide clean water at all times, and establish consistent feeding routines. Allow regular bathing access for feather maintenance. Install perches at graduated heights for exercise. Invest in darkness simulating lighting to keep circadian rhythms on track when natural light is insufficient. An environment optimized for health, nutrition, and physical conditioning gives your birds the foundation to succeed. Implement a strict feeding regimen. Nutrition is vital for developing robust, high-performing pigeons ready to thrive under race conditions. Instead of leaving feed available at all times, master breeders recommend a precisely scheduled feeding regimen. During breeding season, hens should have 15 minutes of feed access 3 times daily while caring for eggs and chicks. After weaning, give young birds 15 to 30 minutes to eat twice per day, once in the morning and once in late afternoon. During rigorous training and racing, allow adult pigeons 30 to 45 minutes of eating twice daily. Providing feed during short windows motivates rapid consumption and prevents spoiling while also appropriately restricting calories to avoid obesity. Supply top-quality racing pigeon feed mixes and consider supplements like probiotics, vitamins, electrolytes, minerals, oils, and nutrients tailored for energy, endurance, health, and recovery. Avoid overfeeding, as excess body fat causes flying issues. Motivate with training and racing. Champion racing pigeons possess high degrees of motivation and competitiveness. They must want to get home faster than all rivals after being released far from the loft. You can help instill outstanding drive through various training techniques performed with increasing levels of difficulty over long distances. Set an ambitious monthly schedule taking young pigeons on progressively longer supervised group flights to prepare them for racing. Launch birds from unfamiliar sites so they learn to orient themselves. Schedule tossing sessions in challenging weather to help them handle variable race day conditions. Make training activities enjoyable with rewards upon returning to the loft, such as feeding, resting, pairing with mates, or access to nest boxes and young. The right balance of challenge, discipline, and enticement creates eagerness, moxie, and persistence needed to prevail when the stakes are highest on race day. Rigorously cull underperformers. Be utterly relentless about removing non-elite birds from your loft every year. The space, expenses, training time, and breeding opportunities you provide to your pigeons are invaluable assets that should only go to your absolute top performers with championship potential. Maintain meticulous records of race results and eliminate any bird that does not achieve success relative to loft mates. While a bit of favoritism towards especially beloved pigeons is understandable, avoiding complacency about lackluster performers is key. Race distances, velocities, weather conditions, and number of competing birds should always be weighed when evaluating racing performance. Set hard annual limits for factors like race distances achieved by certain ages. For example, you may decide young birds that cannot complete 300-mile races by 15 months old cannot remain. Continuously raising the performance bar motivates your colony's competitiveness and safeguards pedigree quality. Pay close attention to health. Racing is taxing, so champion pigeon health is paramount. Maintain scrupulous loft cleanliness and hygiene at all times. Keep an eye out for signs of illness and injury, isolating and treating any affected birds. Administer regular preventative health products like vitamins, supplements, probiotics and vaccines. Schedule an annual vet visit for a health assessment and testing for pathogens and parasites. Quickly eliminate birds that succumb to or carry illnesses to prevent infectious outbreaks. Monitor body condition closely and adjust nutrition to hit peak fitness, not emaciation or obesity. Give endurance building activities but allow adequate recovery time. The immune system and stamina must both be strong to handle race day stresses. Keep detailed records of health incidents for each bird to identify any chronic issues or heritable frailties within your bloodline. Conclusion. Breeding racing pigeons with the courage, capability, and competitive fire to emerge victorious from races requires tremendous expertise, planning, and commitment. But the thrilling challenge of matching wits against fellow breeders makes the continuous striving ultimately worthwhile. Win or lose, when your pigeon charges into its loft after a grueling race, knowing you set it up for success through thoughtful breeding decisions and preparatory investments of time and care creates immense satisfaction. There is always room for advancing your program and enjoying the rewarding process of nurturing future champions. With these breeding tips, you are well on your way. Get my main racing system, just email me direct. I'm an experienced ex-pigeon racer from England, and I can offer valuable insights and guidance on all aspects of pigeon racing, from breeding to racing. During my racing days, I managed a small team of no more than 70 pigeons, including stock, young birds, and old birds. It was not uncommon for me to send as few as 6 birds to a race and still secure the top 3 positions out of up to 2,500 pigeons in my club and federation. My race distances typically ranged up to 300 miles, and I consistently achieved top 5 placements in my club. My expertise extends to the art of selecting excellent breeders, including evaluating pigeons based on their eye-sign characteristics. I firmly believe that true champions can only be bred from top quality stock, and I can guide you in identifying and acquiring such pigeons. I understand that many pigeons for sale are advertised based on their lineage or pedigree, but I emphasize the importance of assessing the bird itself rather than relying solely on paperwork. As part of my offer, I invite you to share photos of your pigeons, including their eye sign and wing characteristics. I'll provide you with free advice on racing and breeding based on my extensive experience and knowledge. Additionally, I will share auction links to high-quality breeding birds that have the potential to produce winners in your loft. Here's what you can expect to receive from me. A comprehensive Word document containing valuable insights and strategies for successful pigeon racing, including specific racing methods for both old and young birds, as well as general advice. Private YouTube videos sent to your email, covering various aspects of pigeon racing, from breeding to race preparation. Detailed recommendations on supplements and additives to add to your pigeon's drinking water, with scientific evidence supporting their effectiveness. Similar products are used by professional athletes and racehorses to enhance performance. Assurance that your pigeons will race home faster, provided that you have quality birds to begin with.